Previously on Dandies in Danger.
The fog clears, and all four of you are standing on the quarterdeck of the HMS Halberd. Daniel, you find yourself in full red uniform, a bayonet at your side. Liam and Zachary are being pulled along to start helping with the rigging and start climbing up the masts.
Just blend in for now until we know more about the situation.
I'm a doctor.
You need to stop saying that, please.
But I am. I've never been a doctor before.
Adrian, you had gone down to the upper gun deck, your surgeon's quarters, and there is laudanum there.
Not for you!
I'm the doctor. I get first dibs.
Have you been drinking laudanum?
No.
What the devil is going on?
Well, I've got nothing except for drugs.
Nothing really seems out of the ordinary. They fit in so well.
It is like we fit right in. We're somehow a part of the ship's emotional stain.
But why on earth would we be part of that?
I just know that we have to figure out a way out of this memory.
What if we went back down to the Orlup? Do you think it's like a portal of some kind?
We could try.
Are they going to let the doctor walk down there with two midshipmen and a marine in the middle of the day?
We could wait until night.
Shall we do the 12th bell?
Zachary gets this look of a chill, and he watches someone go by. Rather big, looks like a ship hand, and has short black hair. He doesn't stay on the middle deck, he goes to the lower gun deck for some reason. Ugh.
You alright, Zach?
Yeah, No, fine. Hi, my name is Haile, my pronouns are she, her, and I play Zachary Wilkos.
Hi, I'm Cass, pronouns she, her, and I'll be voicing Liam Bardsley.
Hi, I'm Chess, pronouns he, she, they, and I'm voicing Daniel Pritchard.
Hi, I'm Toast. My pronouns are she, her, and I voice Adrian Edwards.
Where we last left off, Liam and Zachary just had a conversation with Charlie and a few words from the cook, but overall the agreement was that everybody was to go to the Orlop deck, correct?
Yes.
At 12
Yes.
bells.
At 12 bells. At 9 bells, everybody is instructed to go to sleep. Adrian, you have your own private quarters, so you don't have to share with anybody. And nobody is sick right now, so you get the whole place to yourself. Dangerous. Especially with all the drugs.
He's probably taken his fill for the evening.
Daniel, you have a more or less private Marines quarters. You guys are separated from the ship hands in that you at least have sort of a walled-off space where y'all can sleep privately in your boxes.
Okay, so do I have a private room where I'm sleeping alone, or is it kind of like we're paired off and there's only one person I'm sharing with?
There are 6 men in each room. There wasn't a whole lot of Marines brought, so in terms of privates, you are sharing a room with 5 other men.
Okay.
Liam and Zachary, however, are sharing the entire middle deck with everybody else who works on the ship, save for lieutenants or officers. So all the ship hands are sleeping there in hammocks that are about 18 inches in length.
Wait,
18
in
inches
width?
across.
In
Yeah.
width, you mean?
Width.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, 18 inches.
You're allowed to sleep standing up.
In a bag.
Sorry, I thought across because it's what they measure from is across from one end to a little pole to the other, and which is what like your hammock is strung up on, other than the ceiling. So you don't have a lot of space.
Yeah.
But luckily, because I'm the GM, Zachary and Liam are sleeping very close to one another. There's only there is a person between them in terms of Liam is 1 up and Zachary is 1 down. This is 9 bells and everybody is asleep. We will fast forward because nothing interesting is happening to 12 bells. But
Alright.
that being said, Adrian, you probably make it to the Orlop deck fine. However, you do need to go past the middle deck in order to do so. So I just want you to roll a d20 and see if you raise any suspicions.
Uh-oh. Well, I got a 9.
You got a 9?
Yes.
So the floorboards creak under you and people are aware that you're walking around. But you're the doctor. No one's really that suspicious.
Don't mind me. I'm just the doctor.
You make it to the Orlop deck okay.
Is he saying that? Is he just like going around saying, I'm a doctor? Don't mind me, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor.
But a
Yep.
few of the kind of heads look at you as you're like coming down the stairs to go to the orlop deck, because you get to the middle gun deck and then you'd still have to go to the lower in the orlop, etc.
Yeah.
So there are a few people who are like, what is... Okay, whatever. And they kind of go back because they're not really interested in what the doctor's doing. Daniel, you are asleep on the upper deck as well, the upper gun deck.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a d20. You're going to have to roll twice, because you're going to have to get past the people in your sleeping quarters, and then the people on the middle deck.
Not Alan.
I got a 1.
You are getting up and out of your box, and you're not used to sleeping in those hanging, swinging boxes. The ship takes, like, a little jerk to the side from maybe a stronger wave, and you collapse out of your box. And
Oh no.
everybody in that room wakes up and goes, what the... Pritchard? And they look at you and they're like, what's wrong with you?
Still feeling a bit seasick. I'm gonna go see the surgeon.
What now? One says.
Yes, I'm afraid it's urgent.
That was a good enough bluff that I'm gonna let you do it.
Thank you.
Ew.
Alan looks to you and kind of gives you a stare, and he tilts his head down and raises eyebrows as if to ask, really?
Yeah, bitch.
Daniel almost rolls his eyes at him and looks away and keeps heading out the door.
Out of the corner of Daniel's eye, it seems like Alan is gonna get up and follow him,
Oh.
and then seems to think different, and then instead joins everybody in settling back in.
We're gonna have to fight this man at some point.
Alan's suspicious of me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I roll again because now I'm trying to get past the middle gun deck.
Right, yeah. And you're also headed in the very opposite direction, so you're rolling with disadvantage. You're not going next door to the surgeon. You're headed downstairs.
Fuck.
So you have a suspicion disadvantage,
Fuck.
so it's okay.
Okay, I got a 14 first roll and a 20 second roll, so 14.
Okay, 14.
That should be okay.
It should be okay. It seems like someone kind of peeks out a moment and watches you go and is like, whatever, maybe he's going to the bathroom, and they just go back to bed. Okay, so you were going the opposite direction. We rolled for you heading away for the surgeon's office. I'm just gonna keep that 14 for the middle deck roll too, because I imagine at this point, Daniel's just like, like he's just going down the stairs like, nobody noticed me. This
I'm
leaves
just a private.
this leaves Liam's roll. Liam, you're gonna have to roll 3 times, and I'll tell you why.
Oh shit. Okay.
You are 3 hammocks away from freedom in terms of like being in the complete clear.
Oh no. Okay.
So
All
you
right.
can't bump into anybody while you go.
Okay. Let's see if he can keep his feet, or if his depth perception is going to be way off because of the huge swollen welt on his eye.
Woof, yeah.
It's a 5 for my first one. That's not great.
You clumsily fall out of the hammock and you bump into the sleeping person next to you. Now, mind you, Zachary is in the next row to you, but just one person down, so you're sleeping next to a stranger on either side. This person scratches and looks over, and you know him by the name of Jimmy.
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 Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy's mom is a heartbreaker. Jimmy's rather big. He was also the one earlier who yelled to Charlie asking if he had accidentally sliced off a piece of himself for the dinner tonight.
Oh no.
So Jimmy's kind of a bit of a brute. Jimmy sort of rolls over and scratches at his chest and goes, "What's it?" Looks at you.
Sorry, lost my balance. Can't see very well. Liam points at his eye.
Shut it, he says, and he turns over. Alright, roll number 2.
Oh god. This is intense. I got an 8.
God.
I'm just shoving past these lads.
You really can't see, and your balance is completely thrown off by the fact that you have a throbbing, swelling sore just above your eye. It is one of those headaches that drums in you and it vibrates pain outwards, so much to a point where you actually, while still trying to get your sea legs, you trip over yourself and you grab onto the closest hammock. The closest hammock is Zachary.
Oh.
See,
Oh,
if you'd
thank
gotten
God.
one, it would have been a stranger.
Oh god.
You feel immediately a hand go over your hand, and Zachary looks at you with an intense gaze of, "What are you doing?" Zachary quietly slips out of his own hammock and doesn't say a word, but points towards he's pointing to the stairway towards the back of the ship. Womp womp, I still don't know boat directions. I had a whole week. And I was busy. Not doing anything. And he points to the back of the ship to where the staircase is with very, like, an intense-looking gaze, and he puts a finger to his lips, pleadingly.
Liam nods fervently and then immediately regrets it and kind of presses a finger back up to his temple and then puts a hand up to his mouth.
Zachary slips down all the way to the floor, and he starts crawling under everybody else.
Sneaky little boy.
Ooh.
Roll to check out his butt.
No!
I roll for charisma.
So that gives you another option, which I'm kind of surprised you didn't think about. You can duck under everybody if you want.
Well, look, Liam is a gentleman. He's not used to getting on the floor. That would not have occurred to him.
It's very fair. That's very in character.
He's gonna think about it for a second, and then he's gonna follow Zach down onto the floor.
Go ahead and roll with advantage in that case.
Okay. I should have punished my dice
Liam.
before we started playing.
What did you roll?
Hang on, she still has to do one more roll to see if one is better.
Okay.
Please. Ass.
So it's a 3.
Liam Bardsley.
Has
cut
the
out for this
worst
life.
luck.
Liam Bardsley has the worst luck. What happens is, your head, after nodding, you remained dizzy. So much so that when you got down and on the ground, you wobbled on your way down and you bonked into the other person who was sleeping on the other side of Zachary. Which causes Charlie to look over his hammock and go, Bardsley?
Sorry, Charlie.
Have you fallen?
I'm just a little bit dizzy, but I'm gonna get a little air and just, it's fine. Sorry about that, Charlie. Just go back to sleep. Sorry to wake you.
No, if you need help, if you need to go to the doctor, I can assist you.
No, it's quite all right. It's
You
been
really
a
hit
long
your head,
day.
are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure. You're a good lad, but you're growing and you need your sleep.
Will you shut it, both of you? Yells Jimmy over them. This makes Charlie just like go back into his hammock. And Jimmy doesn't get up and he doesn't search, but he's very aware now that at some point in the night you got up.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Jimmy
All
will
right.
remember that.
Yeah, Jimmy will remember that.
All right.
Good job.
Good job.
So that was 3 rolls. You make it all the way, and you both head down to the Orlop deck.
Oh, we've got... No one's down there, though.
Yeah, that's why I didn't count it.
No one's in the lower gun deck.
Lower gun deck, there's no one occupying it, or there shouldn't be anybody occupying it at this time.
Okay.
Because everybody should be in their quarters and asleep, and anybody who's on patrol is on patrol on the quarterdeck. All right, so Daniel knows this. Daniel knows that, and Liam should know this, as well as Zachary, that nobody should be bothering them on the Orlop deck.
Okay.
Piles of cords stack the middle of the Orlop deck. They're not in full use right now because there is not a full crew to maintain them. However, the ship is still in motion. They are still trying to reach their destination of the strange missing ship. So all 4 of us are down there now. Congratulations. We only raised a lot of suspicion.
Good job.
I know, between Daniel and Liam, we are not going to be the favorites. If any food goes missing on this voyage, we are going to be primo suspects.
Yeah, honestly, yes. All right, so everybody's down there. It's dark. There is a lamp to light. Does anybody want to light it?
Well, Adrian's in no state, so
Is it, like, really, really dark?
Yeah, it's pretty gosh dang dark. The visibility is like a 1.
Then Daniel might ask someone, any of the boys, like, should I light this?
I don't know. But if somebody did come down here and they saw a light on,
Then he could just, like,
then they'd come find us
blow it
right
out.
away.
You blow it out, though.
It's dangerous.
It'll be hard to investigate if we don't have any light to see by, though.
No
Well-
one should be finding us at this point. They're all on patrol at the quarterdeck.
Good thing none of us alerted any suspicion on the way down here.
I know I didn't.
Daniel sweats, and he doesn't say anything. Then he takes the lantern and he lights it.
Right, this is Zachary.
Oh, this is very spooky, says Adrian, as we're all lit up in dim light with our faces all shadowed.
Did you drink more?
No, this is just from before.
Now that you mention it, Daniel never did come back at dinner time. What were you two up to?
He fed me soup.
You... Liam's eyebrows kind of shoot up for a second, and then he, like, waves his hand in front of his face, and he's like, we can talk about that later, I suppose.
Daniel sarcastically is like, yes, it was very romantic. And then he kind of, like, shoves past them and is looking for anything. A portal.
Can Can we investigate over by where the mist was emanating?
Yes, that was at the back of the Orlop.
Can we all roll for investigation?
You absolutely can, yeah.
Woo!
Or
And
perception?
we're going to add our wisdom to this, yes?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh god, 6 altogether.
So that's
I got
a
an
6.
8 altogether, so...
That's an 8.
I got a 12 altogether.
A 12.
Liam did the best out of all of us.
What did Zach? Is Zach investigating?
Oh, he should.
That's a 20.
Zachary got a 20.
Oh, shit.
neat.
Oh, thank goodness. We're
Okay.
all a bunch of dumbos over here. We need Zach's wisdom.
He's the only sensible one, I think.
I think he is.
He's also got like that magic perception that none of us have. So maybe
And that-
there's like physically nothing. And maybe you can only find
I think he also
magic
has anxiety perception.
I think also
Yeah, he does.
maybe Zachary's holding the brain cell tonight.
Yeah.
Mom says it's my turn to hold the brain cell. Alright, with a perception roll of 20, y'all are fumbling around in the dark. The Orlop is void of the barrels you had seen, and of course the red rope and all the other things you had seen at the party that night before you got swept away into this new, strange wherever you are. All there is cords, and there is nothing for you to really search behind or find, except within the cords themselves, which Zachary veers off and starts sort of investigating the cables and cords, and leans down and starts pushing some of the very heavy ropes out of the way. And
How? He's so small.
Daniel, can you bring a light? It's just like
Daniel was already moving over towards him and bringing the light.
he's not moving the full cords. He's like moving like he's lopping one over, like
Okay.
moving it that way. I think there's something here.
A body.
Daniel holds up the lantern to see it.
Liam comes over to help move the ropes if necessary.
It is, yeah. Zachary does need help, and the two of you manage to part the ropes aside in some direction that Zachary seems to know, as if knowing that there's something down there. And he says, I think move this one, and then we should. And when you move the cord aside, there's a small rope tied in a very intricate knot. And Zachary reaches out and puts his hand around it,
I don't think you should be touching that.
and for a breath, nothing happens. And Zachary picks it up. Huh, he says, looking at it and turning it over.
What is that?
Ugh, he shrugs. Is this what one calls a sailor's knot? He asks, looking to Liam.
Can you sense anything from it?
Yes, he says. There's some kind of magic in here.
A magic rope, says Adrian.
Yes, thank you for catching up.
What?
He turns it over again. He says, it doesn't feel dangerous. It just feels like there's something in here. He hands it over to Liam or Daniel, whoever wants to take it.
But if it's been hidden away down here, that seems nefarious.
It does. And yet, I don't sense anything malicious about it. Curses have a definite feel.
Let's untie it.
May I ask if the rope is still... Have we removed the rope completely from the pile, or are there still cords of the rope underneath the pile?
It's its own separate little thing.
Okay.
It's not a huge bunch. It's like a short bit of rope
Okay.
that somebody just messed around with. Like, it's probably only 12 inches, and
Okay.
somebody just, knotted it up and did a bunch of little intricate knots with it.
Is it symmetrical?
It is not symmetrical. It does kind of have a weird sort of ish shape of a human. There's a loop at the top, 2 loops at either sides, an intricate knot in the middle, and then where the 2 rope ends spring out of, one could interpret as legs.
This seems spooky. You don't hide a rope person without some sort of weird, dark thoughts.
Why did nobody see it when they were using the cords today?
I don't bloody know. Let's untie it.
No, well, perhaps someone took it down there afterwards.
Oh, I wasn't in the room. Sorry. I wasn't there.
Zachary, that one fellow that passed you by, didn't he go down to the Orlop?
He did. Or at least he went downstairs. I don't know where he was headed.
Did we see anyone else go down there?
Not to my knowledge.
Some strange person put another smaller strange person made of rope down here.
I don't really want to hold this, and I'll tell you why. I've already got enough things attracted to me as it is. I think somebody who isn't magic should be holding this.
I'll hold it.
No.
You'll hold it.
No, well, actually,
I'll hold it.
You got taken over by a tiny ring. Daniel grabs
We're not
the
speaking
little
of
rope
that,
guy.
remember?
Oh, Daniel now has the rope. Daniel, can you please put in your inventory that you have this thing that I'm calling the sailor's knot?
Sure.
Daniel, do you have somewhere you can hide that?
Sure.
Under your hat. That would be so cute.
I think we should keep an eye out on that man that we saw go down there. We should watch him. We should keep an eye on him. If he notices it's gone, if he looks suspicious, then we'll know it was him that put it down there.
That's a good idea.
Seems about right.
I can hide it in my uniform. I have lots of pockets.
Let's not untie it just yet. I'm
All right.
concerned, I suppose, about what the consequences might be. Not until we know more about what whoever did this wants.
There's not much else down here, and I'm worried that people are going to get suspicious the longer we're gone.
Are there any rats?
We're the rats. Why would you want to know that? He says.
Well, before they were stuck in cages, I'd like to see them in their natural habitat.
This is not their natural habit. You are drunk, and I'm going to bed before I get whipped, he says, heading away.
I think that's a good idea.
That puts Adrian off. He's like, ugh.
Adrian, are you able to make it back to your own quarters?
I made it all the way down here, thank you very much. So yes, I can go back to my room.
Adrian, that's fine, but please just go to sleep whenever you get back.
I'm not... Look, I'm a professional.
Obviously.
Obviously.
All right, well, just make sure you don't get caught then. Good night.
Good night.
Well, I'm not going to make y'all roll to go back up. We're going to say that y'all make it back, because everybody already knows you kind of left one way or another anyway.
Liam just starts punching hammocks whenever he gets back.
Dong, dong, dong.
Hello, I'm back! Wake up, nerds! I came back from my super secret club meeting.
That you guys weren't invited to because you're not cool enough.
Meh. Alright. Everybody makes it back to their quarters. Nobody really questions it. Daniel, when you head back into yours, Alan still seems to be awake.
Ooh.
And
I fucking knew he would be.
I wish I could have written him a doctor's note, but I don't think Adrian had any pen or paper on him.
he turns, looking up at you.
Daniel looks at him.
Ooh.
And he gets back in his bed, taking his jacket off.
Alan's just mad about his suppressed homosexuality.
I know, Daniel's very attractive.
He is.
Great. All right. Alan also rolls over, doesn't say anything. The next time everybody is conscious is when they're hearing 8 bells going off. And we're gonna go very quickly to the middle deck where Zachary and Liam were sleeping. And everybody's hopping out of their hammocks and starting to take down the hammocks and tie them up. And they're putting them into sacks. Liam, you can see with the new knowledge that you're granted, you can very easily tie up your hammock and just follow the crowd as they put them in a big pile towards the back of the ship.
Oh, certainly. He's not going to be fast, though. He's very tired. He didn't get enough sleep last night. They went snooping around. Also,
His head still probably
his head hurts, and also he would very much like a bath. Let's say he woke up on the wrong side of the hammock this morning.
Yeah, he's one of the last people to actually get it tied, and Zachary is the very last person who ties it incredibly sloppily.
Baby boy.
Yeah, Zachary flops his hammock down on top of everybody else's neatly tied hammocks, and Liam's partially neat hammock. And while the rest of the crew start going towards the galley to get their breakfast of oats that had been soaked overnight, and a nice biscuit they can crumble into hot water, and that's their coffee. Oh yeah, it's nasty.
God, Jess looks so horrified.
Zachary is sitting there, he loads his hammock on, and someone comes up to him with a whip on their belt, looking over his shoulder. Oh, is that how we tie things now? Says the boatswain.
No!
Zachary scampers backwards, and he looks up at him and goes, the man imitates. What? Forgot how to tie? He had been leaning in, and he leans back and he says, I've got my eye on you. We don't need any useless little rats on this ship. You got it? Oh, uh-huh. Zachary nods. Aye, he says down at him. Aye, says Zachary back. That's right, he says, and he shifts his clothes as if he's someone important, and he swaggers off.
We're gonna have to kill this man too.
Kill?
Right?
Okay, alright, so Daniel's not the only one who is willing to do a murder.
Zachary quickly hurries to Liam's side at that point and is like, I'm gonna have to learn how to tie knots better. Not a phrase I ever thought I'd say in my life.
Zachary, does it not come naturally to you? Like, I mean, obviously this didn't come naturally to me before, but is any of this seem familiar to you?
He irks an eyebrow looking at him. Familiar?
Well, yes, like yesterday, how I knew how to catch the ropes and the rigging and how to climb up and everything. Is any of this familiar to you? It's strange, I know it shouldn't be familiar, but it is.
No, he says strangely to you, because... Wait, didn't you know that because your father was a sailor?
Well, no, I mean, I've been on many boats, and my father's told me stories plenty of times, but he never sat me down and taught me how to tie a rope, no.
He didn't?
No. And how do you think Adrian was able to patch you and me up? He's certainly never touched any medical instruments before in his life. Maybe it's something to do with you. And then Liam pauses for a second and kind of like looks around to see if anybody else is around. Well, I've been meaning to ask you something. Is there anybody else around?
There's everybody around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But maybe later.
Zachary blinks at him in bewilderment, but kind of gives a nod when the cook shouts out to the two of them and says, "You two fancying on starving the rest of the day? I have no qualm taking extra portions."
No, I would never miss the opportunity to taste your fine cuisine.
Stop gabbing, get over here and eat.
You still cannot charm that man.
I'm gonna charm that cook. If I know anything, you want to get on the good side of the cook.
That is damn right.
That's true.
That is
True,
that
but
is
I don't
good.
know.
That's a very good rule.
Liam and Zachary walk over to get their food as Charlie takes away a bowl and a mug with a tea bag in it. And it's a standard mug. It's the same kind as the crew normally drinks out of for their own coffee, but this one actually has tea in it. And he takes a plate, which has slightly buttered prepared oats with sugar and honey in it, and he goes out from the middle deck, and we follow him to the upper deck, where he goes and he knocks on Adrian's door.
Adrian's voice is like, just a moment. Hang on. And he comes and he opens the door and he looks terrible because he's incredibly hungover and he was very sick earlier in the nighttime morning. Good morning.
Good morning, he says, blinking and looking at him. Breakfast, sir.
Thank you. You're that small boy. How's your hand?
It's fine, sir. It's better since you've patched it up, actually.
Fantastic. I'm such a good doctor.
May I come in and set your things down, sir? Or would you like to...
No, come do that, please. And he shuffles to one side.
He goes over and he puts the things down and he looks over at him and says, "Should you need anything else, the galley will be open for, well, until 10 bells. And, have you had a chance to look at Mr. Bardsley's head?"
Yes, he was in here yesterday. Yesterday, he was in here with his gigantic head.
He seems to have got up in the night. I think he was feeling sick. You might want to check on him again, yeah?
Oh, yes, I could do that, because I'm the doctor. If you see him, you should send him my way.
Right you are. He says, and he, oblivious, leaves. Daniel, you and the men had also been brought breakfast, and you...
By Charlie.
No, not by Charlie, but by other ship hands who had just come up and brought you breakfast, but you're expected to eat much more quickly than the ship hands, as you all need to go up to the quarterdeck and start your morning routines.
And Daniel knows this.
Daniel does know this.
All right, then he scarfs it down, which is what he has to do because it's really gross.
It is. But you guys get a bit of honey and brown sugar with yours as well.
Oh, he misses coffee, though. Like real coffee, not fucking bread and water.
Yeah, it's a very burnt biscuit that you crumble in. And
Oh my
that's your
God.
coffee. Isn't it bad? Yeah.
He's offended. He's like, don't call it coffee. He thinks to himself. He misses his coffee at home.
Many people start finishing their stuff and they're gonna go and somebody will probably either... See, I don't know all the intricate procedures, but they eat, they probably go down and return their plates before heading up, being in full uniform to go do their daily routines.
He's got his sailor's knot in his uniform with him.
And as Daniel is putting his dish away, he's one of the last people in line to do so. And as he's following everybody else up, Alan sort of steps forward and says, "Can we talk?"
He furrows his brows.
Not now, obviously. Later.
Sure.
He does have a crush.
This evening, 10 bells,
Where?
quarterdeck.
Okay, either he has a crush or this is a trap.
Is it urgent?
He falters. He bites his lip and he looks at you and says, "You didn't go to the surgeon's office last night."
Oh,
No, I realized as I stood up I actually needed to urinate.
I'm sorry, I know this is spiking the audio.
Okay.
You're okay,
Good. There's
Cass.
no way to get far away from the mic.
It's okay to laugh. Alan gives a nod, and he seems to venture one more, but he gives a look back towards the stairs, knowing that they're both expected up on the quarterdeck, and he says, "The surgeon wasn't in his office either."
Daniel furrows his brows, and he says, "Really?
You didn't know?
No."
He takes a step forward towards Daniel. Daniel, you see above Alan some hazy, handwritten spectral writing.
Oh!
You can't quite make out what it says because the cursive is so tight that it's almost unlegible, but it floats in a wave just over his right shoulder.
Daniel looks at it, looking surprised, trying to make out what it says.
Daniel?
His eyes look back at Alan, and they look back at the lettering, then they look back at Alan. Sorry.
10 bells, all right? Tonight.
Right.
He looks like he wants to say something more, but heads up the stairs anyway.
Does anything happen to the writing as he's walking away?
As he's walking away, the writing fades,
Okay.
and then there is nothing left.
The writing says, "I'm gay."
Daniel, you are headed up the stairs. What are your thoughts and feelings about what you just saw?
He assumes it's some sort of magic. He's wondering if it means that something was placed on Alan to make him do certain things. Like it's a written spell of some sort. He's not quite sure. He's speculating. He wonders if the other boys have seen anything like this. But he is conscious that he is holding the sailor's knot that has magic in it. So he's wondering if he's the only one. He doesn't know. So he would want to check in with Adrian and Liam and Zach to figure out if they can also see scripts above people, or if that's just him.
He makes his way up to the quarterdeck, and by now, Zachary and Liam are also put to work with the rest of the ship hands, doing the rigging and such. People are already on the mast, trying to take advantage of the winds that blow, making sure that the ship is going in a steady direction. Not so fast that danger can't be averted, but not so slow that they would miss the meeting point. When another very strange, strong gust of wind blares, and it rips through one of the sails. This causes a lot of panic and screaming, because now one of the sails have been ripped in half completely by this strange wind.
Oh, shit.
It whips around so quickly and so fast that it hits one of the sailors just dead in the face. You guys are not near enough to help, so if you wanted to help this man, there's no rules that can help him. He's too far at the other end of the mast that you just watch a man fall all the way to the quarterdeck. And Daniel, the moment you get up on deck, there is suddenly a man right in front of you that has fallen from the mast.
Splat. Splurge.
Blood gets on your shoes.
Well, he pauses in shock and his heart is racing.
People start screaming. Lieutenant officers are ordering people to back up. Ship hands are yelling to get the doctor. Get Dr. Edwards! Where's Dr. Edwards? They yell. And immediately, even disregarding some of the lieutenant's orders to back up, a lot of people are still crowding. Several ship hands come up and they are picking this body up, and someone yells, "He's still breathing! He's still breathing!" He yells. And they take this person and they bat Daniel out of the way pretty much, who is just stark frozen, and get him down to Adrian's office. And Adrian, you are perhaps still enjoying, or maybe not enjoying, breakfast, when suddenly you hear a loud thud, screaming and commotion, and then a bunch of heavy footfalls as people rush and wrench open the door to your office. "Doctor!" says one.
Oh no.
And they run to the other side of your office on the I don't know boat terms left, where there are several hammocks, but there is an operating table.
Right. Adrian just stares at them for a minute.
They look at you, and they say, one of them, Jimmy, looks at you and says, "Well, do something!"
Yes. That kind of snaps him a bit, and he stands up, and he kind of stumbles over to the table, and he stares at this person, and I don't know, what kind of shape are they in?
This man has a concussion. It's very obvious by the blunt force trauma to the back of his head. He is still breathing, and now he seems to be kind of coming out of when he had passed out, and he's moving his limbs slightly, and he's huffing out some words, but you can't quite make them out.
Where's the blood coming from? His head?
The blood is coming from his head.
Okay.
He is bleeding out from the head at an alarming rate.
Fuck. Okay. Adrian looks at this for a sec, and then he turns and he vomits because he's still really hungover and he was not prepared for this, and this breakfast was not helping his stomach, so he does a big old puke on the floor.
The sailors they stare at you, and one says, "Are you pissed?"
No. I'm so moved by this poor man's condition, but...
They don't even let you finish.
Fuck.
They don't even let you finish. They grab you and they
Oh, Lord.
get you to the man, and someone is holding your shoulder and saying, "Fix him."
Yes, I will. I need everyone to leave, though. I need everyone to absolutely leave and give him some breathing room. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Get out of here.
They do. They absolutely do. But Jimmy gives you the evil eye.
Yeah, well, I'm a doctor.
And he does leave. And all of them are covered in their friend's blood, so no one's really having a good time. So,
Oh.
Adrian, you are left with a body in front of you.
Great.
A body of a man who is moving, who seems semi-conscious but out of it, and is bleeding profusely from his head.
All right. Can you hear me? Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. I'm gonna hang on. And he goes to find the bandages to wrap up his head.
Good start.
Yeah. I don't know. He does the doctor things. I don't know what the doctor things are, but Adrian would, presumably.
Adrian does know the doctor things. It's true. Adrian has to roll this man in such a way that doesn't further aggravate the concussion onto his side so that he can get to the wound, because he can't just simply turn the head. It seems somehow this man has not broken his neck, but the wound is very large. There's still a lot of blood. He can, of course, bandage him up, but he needs to stitch him closed.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna ask you to roll. I'm gonna ask you to roll a d8.
I don't imagine, considering Adrian's condition, he'd have any advantage at rolling.
No, in fact, you're at a disadvantage. I was
Great.
afraid you were gonna drink tonight, so...
We all knew. I got a 4. Do I have to do a disadvantage? Ah, shit. Hang on. Fuck. Shit. Uh-oh. Shit. Fuck.
Oh no!
I got a 1.
Oh my god. You killed him!
Oh my god.
Your hands are sopped in blood.
Fuck.
They are slippery and warm and going cold, with slowly coagulated blood, as you shakily put a needle through a man's skin and try so hard to get the needle in such a way that is tight, is lined and regimented, that he would be able to heal nicely. But the needle keeps slipping in strange directions, and you have almost dropped it on the floor once. But it was, of course, saved by the thing that's tethering it, which is the stitches. You manage to patch him up, and the man says very softly that he can't hear. "I can't hear."
Adrian's just leaning over him. He's in full panic mode. I'm in full panic mode.
Oh god.
Adrian, he stands there a minute. I don't know. He just stands and stares at the guy, and then he kind of leans closer and is like, "Are you sure?"
And he looks at your lips, and consciousness slowly fades from his eyesight, and his eyes close. He's still breathing. He's still breathing. He's just passed out.
Oh shit.
You check his vitals. He's still breathing. He has a steady breath. He's just lost a lot of blood. He hit his head, so perhaps keeping him awake is the best thing to do right now.
Fuck.
I'm going to leave you with that, because that was a very intense scene of Adrian having to be a doctor
Oh man.
aboard the HMS Halberd. And we pan up to Liam. And Liam, you just saw a man fall to his probable death, and now the boatswains are circling everybody, trying to intimidate them out of their shock. You are holding on to a cord as they replace the sail that got ripped in half. The men who are bloodied are still working, so some of the ropes have gotten the bloodstains on it. And the lieutenants are now watching, and the captain is even out on the deck watching everybody, making sure that order is maintained and the boat still sails. Thoughts?
Oh, for Liam, his hands are shaking and his eyes are probably watering as well, but he doesn't want to be seen. So he's kind of wiping his face with his sleeve as if he's, sweating from the heat, but his eyes are teared up and he's having a hard time keeping a straight face. He does not like this.
Same for Zachary. Zachary seems to be running about doing something out of Liam's vision, but something that he's apparently been ordered to do. Zachary is tripped once or twice, but still the boatswain doesn't quite whip him yet, but does kick him on the backside once or twice to get him back up again. The ship has taken a sour turn. And
Yeah, fuck.
this shock remains for about an hour more.